What we're going to do is we're going to get started here. We have our opening remarks. It's our CEO and our founder, Richard Wilson. If we give a little round of applause, he's bring his way on stage.
Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. Hope you have a fun couple of days with us. We pride ourselves on having very fast-moving events. I get bored easily. If you're a founder, entrepreneur, you probably get bored easily as well. So we hope to keep your full attention these next 2 days. We have no planned breaks. It'd make our job easier. We wouldn't have to get as many people on stage if we scheduled a whole bunch of breaks, but you have networking time before the event, during lunch, cocktails served afterwards. We start at 10 a.m. both days, so I can see many of you in the gym in the morning, like I did this morning, or you can catch up on your emails, get things handled with your teams, and then come in here with a bit more focus. And out of all the discussion panels, maybe there's one or two where it's just not related to your industry, and then that could be a networking break time for you, et cetera, during the day. So we try to keep things going really quick throughout the whole day. I started the Family Office Club 18 years ago. The family office industry now manages more capital than all of private equity and venture capital combined, and it's growing greatly over time. And we have the most visited website in the family office industry, familyoffices.com. We have 17.9 million social media group members, mostly on LinkedIn, about 15 million and change on LinkedIn. And we've prided ourselves on putting out tons of thought leadership on the industry, and we learn a lot by coming to the events. I've been to all 300 plus of our own events. I script every discussion panel question based on what I want to learn selfishly, so it's not boring if you come to multiple of our events. There's different people in the room each time, different speakers on stage each time. Today I'm doing a fireside chat with a centimillionaire who in 3.5 years built up a $100 million plus exit of his business. We're also interviewing the most ultra-healthy decamillionaire that I know who built and sold his business, exited, and now has really dialed in his health to a level that most of us only aspire to. We're also going to have a variety of billion-dollar-plus family offices, wealth advisors, private investors, angel investors, et cetera, on stage over the next 2 days, including Los Angeles Lakers world champion Meta World Peace is going to be giving a standalone talk tomorrow and providing insights as well. So I hope you enjoy all the speakers on stage over 2 days. One person who's been an inspiration for me is Dr. Robert Cialdini, who's really studied what works in communication with psychology of influence and persuasion. And he has shown it's scientifically proven you're 16 times more likely to do business with someone if you meet in person. And in the world of AI, this study was done before AI could fake literally everything, including people watching virtually right now. You don't even know if I'm really saying these words. It could just be faked, right? But in person, investors want to see things for their own eyes. They want to see that the person is real, that they're actually articulate and in person, and you like the person and you trust what they say. You want to walk the warehouse and see the manufacturing plant, see their team, et cetera. That's the whole point of meeting in person. You can tell more in a couple minutes than you can maybe hours of seeing things digitally. And that's going to be even more the case a year from now. There's a chip, the A15 chip that Elon's designing. It has a 47 increase, supposedly, in efficiency over a year ago. And some say that with the LLMs being more efficient and all the data centers being built out, that AI is scaling by 27x a year. This last year, the amount of money spent on data centers in the US moved GDP more than all of consumer spending. So these are all massive changes coming our way that are impacting everybody. So at this event, or any podcast you listen to, or any event you go to the rest of your life, make sure always you vet everything. You know, even if someone says they've been my friend for 20 years, or even if they're a sponsor on stage, or even if they are, it sounds like a very official this, that, or the other thing. Like, you always want to vet things fully, meet in person, do your full due diligence, employ proper counsel, of course, right? We haven't blessed a single thing in the room as Richard Wilson due diligence approved, so just blindly invest, of course. And that goes with any event you'd go to. I was in the Boy Scouts growing up. I'm an Eagle Scout, as well as my father and my grandfather. And so when I was talking to Dan Sullivan about the Boy Scout law, basically the values of the Boy Scouts, I realized that having the values really explicitly set up for families was super important. We talk about that a lot within the club. It's one reason why at our Hawaii Investor Summit this last summer, I had my whole family there with me. I also brought my daughter Luna with me. If you want to raise your hand, Luna. Great. So Luna's coming. Luna's here with me just to have fun for her birthday next month, and then also just to see and learn. And if you're a member with us and you have a minor in your family who'd like to come to any of our events, it could be amazing exposure for them and influence what they study in college, what they do after school. Could get them more excited about business or investing, or help them with grooming them to take over maybe some of your business or assets one day that they need to help manage. If you're an investor here in the room, even if your children are not a minor, you're welcome to bring a spouse or children of any age if you're one of our family office investor guests in the room. So I would encourage you to do that and just be something different about our community that you could benefit from. A couple more personal things. We were in Thailand last month. We've done a business trip to Machu Picchu with 10 investors. I just like doing adventure travel, and we went across the Grand Canyon and back with my wife. It's my brother and I, my wife, and Dat, who you'll see on stage later today, doing a fireside chat at Everest Base Camp for my 40th birthday. I got bad altitude sickness about 30 seconds after that. And then this is my family there on the right in Hawaii, where we're based out of. So we try to keep this feeling like F1 Drive to Survive exciting event, and not like watching golf or something more boring like that on TV. Try to keep it real fast paced. Throughout the day, please ask questions to discussion panelists, as long as it's not pitching your exact deal, saying, would you like to have a meeting with me to learn about our deal or something like that. Of course, we like lots of questions. And then also, there's so many divisive topics out there in society today. It's not really, we're not here to promote, conservatives versus liberals, or get into politics or super offensive topics if we can help it. But we want candid feedback on ideas and structures and strategies. And a lot of the family offices that you meet at our event or otherwise are really just super founders who have figured out how to make 7, 8, 9 figures a year, or they're worth 7, 8, or 9 figures plus. And they're just really savvy entrepreneurs. So they're great people to learn from. Some people see us from the investor side as, oh, I don't know if I want to go to the event because I don't know if I need more deal flow right now. But if you think about it, who helps you when you're very wealthy? Maybe friends, maybe your CPA, but your wealth advisor typically is a master of diversification. They beat the diversification drum all day long because their job is to protect you from yourself of losing the money that you work so hard to build. But the wealth advisor's job typically is not to make you super wealthy. They're like your defensive team. But who is your offense team? Who's your offensive coordinator? Who's helping you plan how you're going to grow your balance sheet? Who's helping you plan your operating business investments or real estate development deals in your local city? Who's on your special teams that's really helping you be agile as an entrepreneur as you grow your balance sheet? That's what having a family office is all about. And that's why it's important to understand the mechanics of how the family office industry works. If it manages more capital than all of private equity venture capital, and it's super entrepreneurial, you're most likely not going to be able to treat them like institutional or a small high net worth investor. So just realizing that they're more of a peer than a big institution in many cases, and being open-minded in how you structure deals, what strategies you use, how you source deals, that can change everything. And so understanding that is part of why we have a lot of speakers on stage, lots of possible connections for you throughout the day. We also have the WOVA app on your phone. You've been using that and downloading the mobile app if you want. It's in the welcome email, and there should have been an invite sent to you. And Jennifer at the front desk or anyone on our team can help you with getting that app, and you can network with people in the room. But we also took the bios from everybody attending, and we have a AI tool that's linked to in your welcome email. And if you tell the tool who you are, it will look through all the bios and match you up with 20 people that are most like you or have most cross references based on where you're from, what industry you're focused on, what type of deals you've done, et cetera. So between Huva, I think is how you're actually supposed to say it, and then the AI tool together, plus meeting people here in the room and hearing all the people on stage, we hope it's super productive for you. So one other thing is that a lot of times when there's no relationship in place or trust, the deal doesn't go very far. No one cares what number you put on your piece of paper, because anyone could write anything on the piece of paper if there's not real trust. So just getting to know people in a genuine way and being authentic and being yourself and building a relationship over time is important. A $4 million check replaces 40 $100,000 checks. So yes, it might take a little bit more time to get something that's 40 times more productive use of your time, but one relationship could change your whole business or change your whole life. We've had billionaires in the room back someone and give them all the capital they need to acquire 13 deals. We've had someone put in $30 million of seed capital to a new platform because they took them out to a dinner they invited them to ad hoc at an event. So it only takes one relationship to maybe change everything, and some relationships are going to take more time. But also, we have investors of all sizes here in the room. We have people that might look like they're raising capital, and perhaps they are for one thing, but they're also worth tens of millions of dollars and want to allocate to hard assets like real estate to produce income. Or they don't want to miss the whole crypto, AI, or robotics train that's leaving the station, right? So you have to keep all those things in mind, and that's just one of the key things that gets missed sometimes in our community. So the context and the trust of the relationship in the family office space matters way more. Investors would rather invest with someone they know and trust than someone promising them more of a return all day long. Everyone who's invested in 10 or 20 deals has been burned by people that promised them a lot, and then they learned they shouldn't have trusted that person and should have followed their gut on maybe those promises not being realistic, right? So that's very important, and I think that the other thing to keep in mind is that everyone here in the room is typically extremely busy, so adding value first, building a real relationship, just helps you stand out and be unique. The person who makes the least progress is the one who usually rushes around, visibly stressed out, shaking everyone's hand as quick as they can and saying, "Are you an investor? Do you have money? Do you want to invest in my deal?" And then people will say, "I think the investors are over there," because they just you scare them off, right? It's like, there's many examples of what that's like. But basically, there has to be an internal locus of control with raising capital and doing businesses with family offices, right? And building the real relationship, how you follow up, how you present yourself, how you position yourself. We're going to talk about that throughout the day. The more of a class act person you are, then the better you do. Like slow is smooth and smooth is fast, because then you're more effective. It's not about rushing around and blasting emails to 10,000 people. That works less well every single day. We have a lot of people on stage, 70, 75 people on stage. And if you network the whole time, you'll miss everything they say. And we'll have some people come up to us at the end of the event and say, "Hey, does anyone invest in this area or this?" And we say, "Yeah, we had like 20 some of them on stage." And they said, "Oh, I was so busy trying to meet people, I missed what everyone said." And they can watch the recording, but few people have the time to sit and watch recordings of the whole event. But on your mobile app, on your phone with your membership, you can download the mobile app for Kajabi, log in, and as you're walking through an airport or sitting in a security line, you can be streaming discussion panels or fireside chats with billionaires, et cetera. And it's like having a Netflix dialed in for investors on your phone that you can listen to anytime, right? So pretty powerful, but also don't miss what's said in the room. We believe in collecting mental models over time, learning from the families, adjusting your view of reality to kind of what the consensus of the smartest people you know are saying. And it goes back to who's helping you manage your wealth. Many people form a family office because they have one or two wealth advisors that help them. Hopefully they're adding extra value on your whole wealth picture, but they're mostly specialized in doing some private deals, mostly public market deals. But then you need to typically be in charge, or your family office needs to be in charge of your balance sheet, and you need to be your own offensive coordinator. So learning from entrepreneurs is how you do it, and collecting mental models is how you execute on it. Some of the wealthiest people here in the room, we have lots and lots of decamillionaires, centimillionaires, et cetera, in the room, and a lot of them are low-key, and they'll say, "I'm in the car wash business," or we have a couple dry cleaners, but maybe they only have a couple because they just sold 150 of them to a big bank, right, or to a big investment fund or private equity. So most people who have the most wealth aren't the flashiest people in the room. Some are, but most are not. And so just to make sure you don't judge people too quickly, because you might miss some of the best relationships that could have transpired in the room. And some of these are unexpected. So we have a platform of ready-to-use artificial intelligence tools. We started building these out in Q4 and Q1 this year. And we have 57 of them, a built-out total. 40 plus of them are available to members. And these are tools that are unmatched because almost every other AI tool you have to train, it half works, it's in beta mode, it doesn't do what it's promised, and it's frustrating, and you cancel your subscription, right? We've done 100 plus of those tools trying to get them to work before building our own. We call it investor superintelligence. And what we're doing is taking the power of data centers and what AI can do with data analysis and retrieval, but also the data that we have internally to put something together that's very powerful for you guys. We use our own tools every day for our own business. And this is essentially, I'll show you in a second, essentially what the data edge is that we have. But a couple quotes real quick. The world has never moved this fast before, but it's never going to move this slow again. So if you think it's fast now, then wait in a year when AI is 27x improved, and the world's going to look a lot different 12 months from now, right? Right now, 99% plus of all intelligence on planet Earth is from human brains, but somewhere between 10 and 15 years from now, 99% of all intelligence will be AI intelligence, and will represent 1% of the intelligence in the world. So who's going to win? Probably those that harness this new version of electricity. It's like walking versus using an automobile or a bullet train, right? In 2040, there'll be a change in that right now there's 40 million robots. In 2040, there'll be 10 billion more than human beings on planet Earth. And they've shown if you get a PhD, you boost your IQ by about 10 points. If you use an AI co-pilot, you can also boost your IQ by about 10 points. More importantly, though, if you made your money in manufacturing, you might know nothing about structuring deals, and your IQ might make you mentally impaired to custom structure a deal. But by using an AI tool on deal structuring, you can be in top 5% on structuring deals, perhaps, combined with a real attorney who looks at what you're doing before you go signing documents, obviously, right? So the point is you can instantly boost your domain IQ dramatically, exponentially, and instantly with a lot of the 40 plus tools that we've designed. And that's the main point, is to help you go faster and boost your IQ. It's like having a second brain. If you use GPT for free, it has 105 IQ. If you pay $20 a month, your second brain now has 125 IQ. If you pay the $200 a month, it's 135 plus IQ, and your second brain is top 1% intelligent. So for $0 to $200 a month, you get to choose whether your second brain is really intelligent or less smart than average, right? So here is our edge on the data. We have 3,000 investor talks and interviews transcribed. So the advice you get from our AI tools are from super founders, family offices, decamillionaires, ultra wealthy, and nobody else has all those transcriptions. We have 22,000 investor profiles, 18 years of data, and most importantly, besides this data edge, we know the step-by-step processes to negotiate and transact, close a deal, work with investors, build an investor relationship. So we built all those processes behind the scenes, behind our AI tools, so not only uses exclusive data, but the processes that we know work. So we don't have time to go over all the tools here. We had a full day workshop for that recently, but one new tool we just launched is called Clara, your investor pitch architect. We have millions of data points behind this tool, thousands of investor talks, some of the other data points I just mentioned, but this tool combines many of the other tools that have been most popular within the club. So now you can just go to Clara, and Clara can help you. You upload your pitch deck or PPM or webinar, et cetera, or all the above is even better, and it will instantly write out 7 versions of a one-liner that pitches your opportunity in a sentence, and then you can ask it to create the 1-minute video script for you so you can record a 1-minute video on what you're doing. Inside the same tool, you can get your pitch deck rated and analyzed in 25 different ways and get a score on your pitch deck and analyze it. You can also use our Deal Structure Ninja tool within this tool to help you negotiate a structure, design a unique structure, and it'll give you 10 deal structures to consider and do that over and over again until the structure is dialed in. And you can also use this tool to create your due diligence questionnaire of the top 30 questions every investor should be asking you before they invest. So having that prepared, you give it to an investor and say, unless you've asked these 30 questions, you probably shouldn't be investing in any private deal. And when they ask those questions to other people, they're not going to have answers for them typically, or they'll take a month to get back to them perhaps. So that's a new tool we have. It's available with the base membership. All of our tools are available either for base membership, 30 plus of them, or for our VIP investor pipeline members for the data-driven investor tools. So tomorrow we have more investors on stage and less sponsors speaking on stage. Overall at the event, I think it's about 80% investors speaking and only about 20% sponsors. But tomorrow it's probably 85% or 90% investor speaking. So we call it Investor Day, the second day of the event. So make sure you stick around for that. It'll be a very productive, exciting day. This is our event calendar throughout the next year. We're negotiating with venues for a lot of 2026 venues. So we've put the week that we're targeting just so that you know that that week we're most likely having an event in that city, which may be near you. But we do have our dates for November, as well as our dates for the Super Summit coming up in Fort Lauderdale, which is our annual event. We'll have probably 700 to 800 people there, 125 speakers on stage over 3 days, and more family offices speaking there than any other event globally. If you're not familiar with the Deep Due Diligence Investors Group, I co-founded that with Mark Halpern, who's here in the room. He's going to be on stage once or twice throughout the event. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later in the event, but you can check out duediligenceclub.com. We've put about $10 million of equity checks into deals. And it's a group of high net worth investors that vet deals together. And that's it for my kind of welcome remarks. So I hope you enjoy the event.
If you are a founder, raising capital, developing real estate, or you're an investor, would love for you to get involved in the Family Office Club. I've run this community for 18 years now. We've hosted 300 live events. We have 17 million social media group members and followers. We have the #1 YouTube channel on family offices. We have the #1 most popular podcast on family offices. You can learn more about us and our membership options at familyoffices.com. We have 30 in-person events planned in 2026 and another dozen events this year. Please go to familyoffices.com to learn more.